What's up everybody, it's RobinGaming here. So I've been wanting to do my review on Destiny for a very long time, but I just wasn't able to because of school, which really sucks. That being said, the game has been out for around 2 weeks already, and I think now is a very good time to do my review because it will be, I will be able to be very accurate in my opinion, and I think that overall I have a good feeling about, the grade I'm going to give it and the opinions I have on the various elements of the game. What I do find really interesting about Destiny at the moment is that it very much feels like Watch Dogs to me in the way that it had quite a big, hype in terms of the game. I mean, when people played the alpha and the beta, they were very impressed, and it seemed that, this game was going to be very, very good. Then it came out, was commercially very successful, got very early on, it actually got some pretty good review scores, and the game has sold quite a lot. I think Activision confirmed that it got them like $320 million or something like that in the first week, which is pretty insane. But then at the same time, there is some very heavy backlash towards the game because so many people seem to think it doesn't live up to the hype and it's actually a pretty bad game. And to already give you some general small conclusion, at the beginning of the video, I don't think that opinion is very justified. I think the game is still great. There's nothing really bad about it or whatever. It doesn't deserve all the hate. In my eyes, it's just because the game has been so successful that of course people are also gonna hate on it. That being said, the game definitely has some very weak points but also strong points. So let's start off, with what I always start off with, is the story. And I would have hoped that Destiny would be able to succeed or exceed my expectations in the story aspect of the game, but unfortunately it doesn't. The story is very, very light, isn't explained well at all, and to be quite honest with you, if you would have asked me right now what the story of Destiny is, I wouldn't even be able to tell you. I mean, I heard of stuff before. You had the Traveler and this, this big planet that kind of like arrives at your own planet or whatever it is. I don't even know. The story is just very, very light and not well explained, like I said. And I think when playing Destiny, you will never really find out unless you pay very close attention. It's just not what the game is about, the story. So I would also say that it's very, I like to rate games on stuff that they do well and not on things that they don't do well, because not all games are meant, to have a good story, and not all games are meant to have a good multiplayer mode or good gameplay. They just want to give you an experience like Heavy Rain. So all in all, I mean, it's disappointing that Destiny doesn't have a good story, but I didn't really miss it either, to be quite honest with you. In terms of the presentation, Destiny looks awesome. I remember when the alpha and beta came out and I played those, and I doing my reviews, I said that I thought the game kind of looked like a PS3 game on my PS4. And right now playing it, I'm like, wait, were the alpha and the beta really looking that much worse or something? Because to be quite honest with you, I think the game looks amazing, and it is especially the different environments that are very good, from Mars to Venus, all different locations. Mars is kind of like a desert, Venus kind of like this a tropical paradise kind of setting, and then of course you have Moon and Earth, which we already knew of. That is great, and it all looks very, very good. I think the whole presentation of the game is great, and even on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 I heard the game is supposed to look very good. So yeah, I would say they did a very, very good job there. The game looks not only amazing but also has just very good design in terms of the environments, what they look like, the themes and settings they take place in. So all in all, presentation definitely a very, very strong point of the game. Then of course there is the gameplay, which is probably arguably the most important element of the game, where at first I wasn't really sure what Destiny was. Is it going to be a first-person shooter, an RPG, an MMO? Right now I have a very clear answer, of course, having played it for many hours. Destiny in my eyes is a shooter with RPG elements that has a feeling, like it is an MMO. It isn't an MMO in any way, to be quite honest with you. The RPG elements are very light. Most of all, it is a first-person shooter, but even in the first-person shooter aspect of the game, it doesn't really shine either. I think if you are going into this game with the expectation of this being a shooter or of this being an RPG or an MMO, you'll be disappointed. If you're someone who, like me, who actually likes all of these, different types of games and are kind of like looking for a great mix between all of these things, I think you'll be very happy. I mean, if you are someone who loves the Mass Effect trilogy and was hoping for this to be this epic RPG, you're gonna be disappointing. That's just simply the way it is. And the same counts for if you're a die-hard Call of Duty or Battlefield player, or if you're coming from World of Warcraft or something like that. Destiny is very light and all these things, but the great thing about it is that it combines it all, and it seems very smooth to me. The experience is just overall pretty great, and what I found so funny is that Bungie actually said that the game only really starts getting good after level 20, and I would actually say quite the opposite, because it was the actual first 20 levels where I really enjoyed myself, because I kept doing these new missions on you know, different planets, and I hadn't seen all of that stuff before. At the same time, I was unlocking new levels, you know, new gear. I was able to you know, to just look through all of my equipment, the stuff I had gathered, really make a selection out of all of it, sell stuff. Yeah, that was really a great experience to me, and you know, to get to the kind of like value aspect of the game, I think that's where it actually really disappointed me, because once I had actually beaten all of these story missions and had done everything, had reached level 20, which was around the same time, there wasn't really much for me to do anymore. You know, equipment that you would find would become more scarce, new skills that you unlocked became scarce. At the same time, yeah, you can still go to level 30 by kind of like finding new equipment and stuff and new gear, which has the light attribute or whatever they call it, which increases your level. I think that's all very, you know, just uninteresting to me, to be quite honest with you. I want to keep getting new content and stuff, and Destiny just isn't giving me that anymore after, you know, these first 20 levels in the game, and after all the story missions that I played. There just isn't much to do anymore. You know, there's only 4 planets and so many like story missions, I think around maybe 30 or whatever. Yeah, I got through it very fast, around 8 to 10 hours I would say. After that, all there is to it is just repeating the same things. Of course, you have the strike missions and the raid missions, which are awesome. But that's about it. The value aspect of the game actually disappointed me, because they promised this, you know, for this to be a game you would be playing for years to come. And, you know, with new expansion packs and with DLC and stuff, yeah, I had actually really expected this to have more of a longevity, but it just didn't in the end, which is quite a shame. I actually stopped playing it for now, and I'm already kind of like focused towards the games coming out later on this year. That's kind of a shame. Finally, the last element of the game I want to talk about is the multiplayer mode, and I don't really know what to say about it except for that it's really fun. It's nothing mind-blowing. You have your typical, you know, sort of like game modes, you know, just a few of them, like 5 or something. You have from team deathmatch to free-for-all to a conquest type of game mode. It's nothing really, you know, mind-blowing or something you haven't seen before. What I thought was great about the multiplayer though was that everything you do in the, you know, the main game, the player versus enemy fights, and you know, the new levels you unlock and the new weapons you start using, everything carries over to the multiplayer and is very balanced still, you know. I mean, a level 5 actually has the level 5 guns and has to face somebody of level 20 with his level 20 guns, but they are still, you know, totally balanced and stuff, and it just works very, very well. And you know, if you don't have a certain skill yet, like double jumping or actually triple jumping or whatever, then, you know, that sucks for you, but it's not something that totally makes you like the inferior player in any way or something like that. So all in all, the multiplayer is very fun. It feels kind of like Halo, to be quite honest with you, but that's not a bad thing at all. That means PlayStation is now also, for example, having its own Halo game, which is great. And yeah, I've actually enjoyed my time quite a lot playing Destiny multiplayer, so definitely one of the strongest elements of the whole game.
Zone A neutralized. Zone A.
Now that I have actually talked about all the different aspects of Destiny, of the whole game, I think it can be said that it's a very, very good game. It isn't bad in any way. You know, the people hating on it definitely don't have the rights to do that. Bungie has done a great job making a very good game. It just lacks in the story aspect, and it lacks in the value, because I just expected a little more. That being said, those 10 hours that I put into Destiny, you know, playing all the story missions, going up to level 20, unlocking all the stuff, I had a blast. And playing the multiplayer as well is very, very fun. So, you know, all of you who like to play multiplayer games, Destiny is a great pick there. I'm personally more of a single player kind of guy. You know, multiplayer is something, you know, I definitely play multiplayer, but I only really do that for one specific game, and Destiny isn't just going to be that one. That being said, once again, Destiny is a great game. I recommend it to pretty much everyone, especially if you're kind of like looking for a good mix between shooting, RPG elements, and having this MMO experience with all these people around you. So yeah, I think I'm going to give Destiny an 8.0 out of 10. Thanks a lot for watching.